Welcome back to the Garden Group Chat. We are a group of gardeners from all over the country who became friends through our shared love of gardening. And every month we're going to share with you what's happening in our gardens all across the country. So let's get started with our first zone.
I'm Amanda at Elamere Gardens, and I'm in Zone 5A in Minnesota. Everything looks asleep right now, but April is a big month in Minnesota. All of my roses will slowly start waking up, and as the weather warms up, I'll start removing the cones, and then when it gets a little bit warmer, I'll start removing the rose mounds. And once they start greening up, I will start pruning, and we'll really start to see a lot of activity in the garden. And of course, I've got all of my seedlings here that I will be planting out in April and May.
I'm Brittany with Wonderfully Ordinary Gardening. I'm a Maine Zone 5B gardener, and April is when us Mainers can finally get outside in the soil. I'll be direct sowing spinach, peas, carrots, and radishes, and I'll also be transplanting out my broccoli, cabbage, kale, lettuce, Swiss chard, onions, and leeks. Inside, I'll be tending to my peppers and getting my tomatoes started.
My name is Jenn, Roots Classroom across social media platforms. I'm growing in southern Wisconsin in Zone 5B. April is go time, and I'm finally able to get my hands in the soil as the dirt is warming up. It's typically when we say goodbye to the snow and hello to the warming spring temperatures. That means things like onions, snapdragons, calendula, bachelor buttons, sugar snap peas are all going out in the garden into the soil, any of those things that can handle a little bit of frost. I get to shift my focus from babying those seedlings to starting the summer seedlings. And I'm starting things like zinnias and cosmos, and I'm waking up my dahlias to get ready for May. It is my favorite time in the garden because it's what we've been waiting for as the snow says goodbye and we welcome those warmer temperatures where we can actually get growing.
Hello from Central Massachusetts, Zone 6A. I'm Monica in Bloom. Here's what I have going on. I recently started trimming down some of my old apple trees. These came with the house when I got here, so they've been overgrown, so I've been slowly chipping away at them. I've also been trimming and pruning some of the other fruit trees that I have, such as my pear. I also have a peach and 3 cherry trees. And finally, at the end of March, early April is usually when I get my wood chip delivery, so I'll be putting them down in my garden path so that way I can brighten it up. I'll also be getting my new soil delivery so I can expand my garden.
It snowed again here in Massachusetts, and I am so tired of it. My name is Kelsey, aka Sprouts and Stories, and I'm here in Zone 6B in Massachusetts. And in April, even though I'm still dealing with snow, I am thinking about what I can start indoors or outdoors to get a head start on my growing season. So last year I started garlic, and that's actually starting to sprout in my garden. I am also cold stratifying snapdragons over here, and then indoors I have a seed setup in which I'm growing things like broccoli and onions in order to get those started for my garden while it's still really stinking cold.
It's Amanda from Flock and Foliage, a Zone 6B Massachusetts gardener, and for the month of April, I plan to spend a lot of my time right down here. This is where all of my seed starting is, in my basement. I share it with 4 baby chicks right now, so they keep me company while I tend to these seedlings. And really what's up next is just more seed starting and more uppotting and tending to these as needed. A big step in April is hardening off a lot of these plants. I'm going to be starting that process in the next couple weeks with my brassicas once that bed is situated and ready to go. And from there, it'll just be a never-ending snowball of bringing plants outside and bringing them indoors. So stay tuned and see what happens next.
I'm Harvest with Liz, Zone 7B, Long Island. And in April, I'm most excited to plant carrots and onions. Carrots are one of my favorite direct sow crops. I chaos sow them, so I put my seeds in an old seasoning shaker and sprinkle them across my beds like I'm seasoning food. For onions, I'm switching it up this year by planting onion plants instead of sets to prevent early bolting. And as a bonus, they make great companions. Onions deter pests, and carrots don't compete much for space. I'm excited to get these in my beds.
It's Jazzy Jim Grows in North Carolina Zone 8A. And full transparency, I didn't do half of the stuff I said that I was going to do in February for March, but I was out here today for a little bit. I got a lot done, so I'm catching up. Now we're focusing on what's going to happen in April. April is going to be about getting everything out. By the end of April, I want all of my stuff planting outside. My last frost date is April 2nd, so it shouldn't be a problem for me to have everything that's frost sensitive to be able to be out here by the end of the month. I have a 3rd bed that's going to go here. I have about probably 10 grow bags that are going to be set up here with fruit trees, lettuce, and herbs. I have to put together my garden tower, and I have 2 cattle panels that are going to go here that I have to put together. I've been prepping, I've been doing seeds and seedlings and getting them ready. April is about putting it all together. All right, I will see you next month.
I'm Wallace at Gardening with Wallace, and today I'm going to show you my garden and give you a little tour. These are what my peas currently look like. They are going to hopefully be growing up the trellis over the next month of April. I have lots of different varieties of lettuce. Some of this I started from seed, some of it I bought from a local farm in my community. I am growing strawberries. It's really exciting. I harvested my first strawberry yesterday. It was absolutely delicious. Garlic. This is going to be harvested, I believe, sometime in April. And you can follow my page to be able to watch me harvest all of this. These are my blueberry bushes. These are not going to be ready to be harvested until around July 4th every year. But the bees are so happy and currently pollinating the blueberry bushes. We love to see it. In the month of April, I'm going to be adding a new raised bed to my garden. I'm going to be planting tomatoes, cucumber, pretty much all the things here that we can start growing in North Carolina after our first frost date. Hope you follow along and can't wait to show you.
Kat here. Welcome to my Zone 8B South Carolina garden. Everything is blooming. The snapdragon bed is finally filled in. My calendula is popping off. Everything is filling in really nicely. In the month of March, I was telling you that we wanted to edge this, and we finally got it done. All of my flowers are starting to bloom. I'm going to be filling this with a lot more flowers, and I've also planted some strawberries, which are starting to take off. That's wonderful because it's going to act as natural ground cover, and I'm going to get a lot of fruit production. We've also installed a greenhouse in the month of March. Why don't you come on down with me and we'll take a look. My plan for my planting for this month is that I'm still starting everything inside on my seed shelf. Instead of putting it under my grow tent, it's going to be coming in the greenhouse to acclimate for the outside. This month, I'm going to be focusing on direct seeding cucumbers, squash, pumpkins, watermelon. In my zone, by May, I typically like to have just about everything out because that's when the heat's really going to ramp up, and we want the roots to already be in ground so they can focus on root production. Can't wait to see you next month. Come back again.
My name is Cady. I am in Zone 8B, Mississippi. Welcome to my garden. It is almost 80 degrees here in Mississippi today. It is a perfect day for planting. Most importantly, I have planted my seedlings into the garden. These are my peppers. I have jalapenos. I have sweet bell peppercini. I also planted my tomatoes. You have already seen my garlic. We have our onions here in this bed. Starting from seed in the garden, and that is to protect from pests this year. And that is going to be nasturtium and French marigold.
My name is Sarah. I'm coming to you from Zone 8B in East Texas. This is my garden. I garden before work in my pajamas, so that's pretty typical. Just go with it. Come on. We've got plants to look at. This little area is where I've got some of my cabbage and lettuce, celery, and snapdragons. Over here, I've got a bunch of varieties of tomatoes. Over here in this bed, I've got some peppers, tons of herbs, and some poppies. I grew my first poppy flower. Quickly, some other stuff that I've got growing in the garden right now. Tulips that have stopped blooming. These 2 beds have onions in them. Over here, I have some asparagus, that is for garlic. And then I've also got some flowers that I'm growing in these pots. Here in the greenhouse, I still have a few things that have not moved outside yet. I've got a tray of snapdragons, amaranthus, foxgloves, Swiss chard, and ranunculus. Last on our garden tour is what I am most excited about this year, and that is my new flower field. Thanks for checking out my garden. Hopefully I have some cool updates coming for you. Have a great day.
Hi, I'm Kendall in Western Washington, Zone 8B. This is Kendall's greenhouse. I get to spend a ton of time in the greenhouse in April, so I love it. It's not too hot in here yet. I have so many seedlings to manage, keep watered, start to fertilize, pot up, and I still have a few seeds to start in April. I have a ton of things in a stage around like this where I need to pot them up or plant them out. And I'm already starting to put things in my garden, including some bare root shrubs that are ready to go out. And cold hardy plants like this calendula I started in a snug. I have a lot of snugs and seed snails I've been playing with and experimenting with this year. So I'll do a lot of potting up and planting out of those in April. I also have 2 green stalk planters behind me that I'm gonna set up in the greenhouse. So I'll have some smaller edible plants to enjoy all summer. It's gonna be a great month, I can't wait.
I'm Sekoya with Chaotic Harvest in Zone 10A, California. Let's see everything I have growing as we enter into April. As you can see, everything in the garden is thriving. We have tomatoes, peppers, squash, pretty much everything you could ever want here. All the veggies growing in the side yard are doing great, and the butterfly meadow is beginning to establish itself. Harvested buckets of loquats. Food forest fruit tree guilds are beginning to establish, just barely. All of these seeds are ready to uppot or transplant. It has been exceptionally hot outside, but I'm still planting seeds, especially lots of sunflowers for the front yard. I'm trying to plant between 50 and 100 sunflowers, so hopefully next month or the one after, I'll have a really impressive show for you.
And that's it for this month's garden group chat. Be sure to like and subscribe and let us know in the comments where you're chatting us from, because gardening is better when we do it together. Happy National Gardening Month!